Aside from gear, if there's one thing that podcasters are more obsessed with, it's podcast stats. Stats help us understand the health of our show and aid in targeting our marketing activities. But for years, podcasters have struggled to understand what exactly a download is for their show. Directories, podcast hosts, and third-party stats all had their own way of measuring how many people consumed their show. A solid industry-wide metric was needed to remove the bias and confusion from the equation, and that's where IAB certified stats came into play. And guess what? Libsyn's got them. Hello, I'm Elsie Escobar. I am Libsyn's community manager and a Podcast Hall of Fame inductee, and I have been helping podcasters create successful podcasts for over 16 years. How about that? And this is Libsyn's YouTube channel where we aim to give you the most pivotal information to create and sustain a successful podcast to help you reach your goals. Make sure that you tap on that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of our stellar videos and super awesome live events. Understanding the metrics of your show is extremely important. And for those metrics to have value, there needs to be consistency. IAB Stats provide that consistency. IAB stands for the Interactive Advertising Bureau, and their stats provide a consistent industry standard measurement that creators can rely on for assessing the downloads of a given show. IAB stats tend to matter more to podcasters that are moving to monetization through podcast ads or sponsorship. This is due to the fact that advertisers and ad agencies usually ask for IAB stats when starting campaigns. So if you never wanted ads, you might never care about IAB stats until your potential sponsor asks you for IAB numbers. Don't take my word for it. Libsyn board member and former IAB president Patrick Dolan discusses why IAB stats are important for podcasters.
So IAB is the Industry Trade Association for the digital media ecosystem. And the reason why it even exists is because the early publishers of the internet needed to have some standards which they could use so that buyers would feel comfortable in buying digital media. And over the past 25 years, they've continued to evolve along with the industry. And it's the industry coming together, creating the standards and dealing with the issues that the industry needs in order to function more efficiently, as well as to promote the medium itself. In any new technology, when they're first introduced, it's sort of a wild west where there's really no standards at all. People are just doing things the way that they do them, right? I mean, they have their technology, they use their technology to deliver services and content. And, with podcasting, it was a very new channel, and there was really no agreement on what the numbers that companies were producing and delivering to advertisers, what was behind them. So the industry came together to all agree on a set of standards that everyone would be judged against. So these are industry made for the industry, by the industry, including podcast hosting companies, marketers, brands, technology providers. This is the whole industry coming together to say, like, this is what the standard is. So IAB stats are filtered to eliminate the non-human activity as well as eliminate any duplicate downloads so that you have an accurate portrait of who's actually listening to your podcast.
Thanks, Patrick. We all know how important accurate stats can be to measure your podcast. What do you think? What experience has your show had with using IAB stats? Drop them in the comments. We'd love to know how accurate stats are working for you. All Libsyn plans provide IAB stats. So even if you're not looking to add advertising to your workflow, they still provide you with accurate measurement of your show. For those of you who do venture into podcast advertising, you may need to provide potential advertisers with the total US downloads for a given month and ensure that those downloads are IAB certified. Libsyn Advanced Stats give you both. Speaking of monetization, check out this conversation with Dave Hanley from Advertisecast, where he covers all the ins and outs of podcast advertising. I'm Elsie Escobar, and remember, keep podcasting.